Tonight, Race Tech brings us from the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, our buddy Seth Hammaker. What's up, Seth?
Not too much. Just long day of motoing and just chilling out. So how are you guys doing?
No rest for the wicked, man. Right back at it.
Absolutely, right back to her. We got outdoors in 1 week, so yeah, just getting ready.
Well, I want to tell you first, thank you for doing this. You could have probably been in a place where you just didn't want to talk to anybody, so thank you for that. Before we get into Salt Lake City in the finals, I want to talk about your season as a whole. Mm-hmm. This was your best season so far. 2 wins in 250 West. What do you take away? What did you learn that kind of created the best season of your career?
Yeah, there's been so many things. The mindset change that I had going into this year, then a lot of the riding technique and stuff that we have changed on the bike as well helped me out a lot too. But, there's so many things that, I felt so much more confident in this season, with, minimizing the mistakes, the big crashes, all of that stuff that has led to more consistency and just, being healthier throughout the season. Even if you didn't get injured, you were still beat up or whatever. So like just being fresh for the weekends and having an outlook of, each race is a new race and, an opportunity to get better. Then as I got deeper into the season in the championship fight, that was also a great learning experience for me as well. Like I never been in that position before, but everything that, we've worked on and changed helped me in that scenario as well. So, there's just been, so many good things to take away from the season. I'm really, really happy. And, just grateful that I have the group of people I have around me that has all helped me get here.
And when you talk about changing technique to be more consistent, like when I think technique, I think of coaches telling me to keep my toes in. What are the technique things that you've changed that help with consistency? Is it as minute as keeping your toes in, or is there something much bigger?
Yeah, I mean, footwork's definitely a big one of the parts of what we work on. Just a neutralized riding position on the bike, never being too far back or too far front. Just always being able to be in the right spot to correct your mistakes, or if something does go wrong. That's been one of the biggest things for me. Is just always trying to be in the right position to, even have good technique, really, and. Elbows, hands, just, a little bit of everything all adds up. And we work hard on it each and every day. So got to be disciplined though to change it after so many years of doing how I just did it growing up. Yeah. Right. Like I never had like riding coaches or trainers. I just watched videos and just went outside of my house and tried stuff and did what I thought was right. And it worked for a very long time. But when you get to a high level like we're at, everything needs to be looked at. And it's just one of those things that, I definitely feel like it was a change that was needed, and it boosted, this new step in my career, I feel like.
When it's all said and done, does it take any sting out of the fact that the championship was somewhat taken from you, rather than if it had been like a mistake or something, rather you losing it was kind of more of taken from you?
Not really. I feel like if anything, maybe worse, just because I feel like if I did something wrong on my part or threw it away myself, it's on me. But, and if that were the case, that, I would take full accountability of it. But I truly do feel like I put myself in the best possible positions all day on Saturday, and I handled everything how I should have and went about it all. But, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be that on Saturday. And, it stings and it'll sting for a little bit, but I'm fired up and I'm motivated that, we got a new series starting in a week. So, we're focused on that really. And, I'm going to use all that fuel just to get a good outdoor season and, just move on.
We got to get into Salt Lake City a little bit. And some of my opinions you might not like a lot, but I'm going to be honest with you from my perspective, and then you tell me how you feel about it. But I feel like you made a few mistakes, and I feel like a couple other guys made a few mistakes, and just it all kind of combined into what happened. But when Juju went by you, I feel like it seems like he did slow down to try to maybe slow you down, but he also slowed Vial down to begin with. So he was kind of a factor in all different aspects of it. But the pass he made on you when he passed you back, I feel like in any other race, that would have been a fine pass. It wasn't even that different, in my opinion, than when you passed Vial, other than the fact that he wasn't in the title hunt. Is that the worst part of it, that he wasn't really a factor? Or am I completely wrong in your opinion?
Like, so, yeah, if that's any other race, like, okay, whatever. Clearly, when he was multiple seconds ahead of me when I got by Vial.
Yes.
Clear. Like he was riding well all day. He was, good. And I got by Vial. I started riding my race and I started catching Juju and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not even running through my head at this point about team tactics or nothing. I'm just like, okay, maybe he's making a couple mistakes, getting tired, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going about my race, executing my laps. I make the pass on him. Don't even think twice about protecting the next inside because I'm like, okay, like, sweet, we got around him. Let's continue doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get slammed. Like, that pass, he was I don't know. I feel like he was trying to put me down.
Okay.
And it just, and you see, right after that, we go one more lap. I pass him back in the same spot. And then that next rhythm, he lets RJ go right by. And when I got taken out by RJ, I didn't even know he got by Juju that, like, all of a sudden until I watched the race back. Because when I got cleaned out by RJ at first, I thought that was Juju, and I'm like, what the heck? And obviously I saw who it was. So anyways, but yeah, the Juju thing, I didn't like that at all.
I don't.
Anyone can have their opinion, but it doesn't sit well with me, that's for sure. And I think it was totally, I think it was that's what he was trying to do. And I totally get that. If that's a normal race, we're racing for position, like, and it's just, he's not in this championship fight. I didn't think that was cool. With him saying that I hit him in the first corner, maybe I touched him a little bit because Vial hit me into him, but other than that, it was not even a thing. It wasn't even close. So.
Oh, I guess I hadn't heard that. So when did this come up? Afterwards?
Well, afterwards he said that it was payback because I hit him in the first corner. It wasn't it wasn't anything to do with the team tactics or nothing. And then somebody told me that, and I was like, I didn't even see him in the first corner. Like, I didn't hit him at all. But.
Yeah, you guys talked before you came off the track when you're sitting on top of the jump. Was that some of the words were exchanged, or do you even want to tell us what was said?
I didn't say nothing. I just pointed at him. He knew what he did.
The pass by RJ, you telling me that you didn't realize it was RJ, that makes a little bit of a difference. In my opinion, I was thinking, okay, if you knew RJ was there, he went pretty far inside. I guess I thought, well, you probably should have expected that, but if you didn't know it was him, maybe you weren't thinking that way.
For sure. Yeah. And like, I look back at that race, and unfortunately that was the one corner I feel like on the track that allowed that. There's many corners on Supercross tracks where you can take people out, but that was one of them that set it up good because you could chop someone's wheel, because for me to go that far inside, probably can't do the finish line. Right. Yep. And you don't realize that, I didn't realize that RJ was that close to me as either. And that's things that went down. And I just got up, and I still was able to jump the finish line.
I heard crazy. That, yeah.
And then I still had a shot at Tom, and I got really close on that last lap. I know they didn't show it on TV, but I was really close until I slid out. I just made a mistake on my own before the whoops. I caught an edge coming out of the berm and just slid out, lost all my drive. But I really do think I had a realistic shot at passing
you
him
were gonna
last couple
do.
of corners. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was going to do whatever. I was like, man, this is good. This would be cool. But
Well, yeah, if you hadn't, we heard about you sliding out, and then you also had a lapper that kind of rubbed you a little bit that you kind of
Yeah,
had to
that
move.
was bigger. Everybody's talking about the slide out, not seeing it because Deegs was on the screen, but the lapper not getting in your way. I was like, that's what I was screaming at my TV.
Right.
yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
But okay, so now though, 3 days later, we look back on this season. Yes, your heart broke, but you have to, overall, this has to be a very positive season, as you've already kind of said. And you look at like, okay, I can do this.
Definitely. So many positives to take away. And, we had a lot of great results and, a lot of learning experiences throughout the season. That'll be so much better next year. And yeah, even though the end result, when you get that close to a championship, and not that even the championship was our goal this season, it wasn't, but when you do get that close, you want to just get it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've went through it, I'll be more experienced. I'll have more knowledge and be more mature next year, and I'll have so much more time and all this stuff to just keep on getting better. So huge positives. I'll get one of these one day. It's just, like I said, wasn't time on Saturday, and that's all good. It's in the past, and it's time to move on. So, but yeah, all good.
You haven't had a great outdoor season yet. So do you take this momentum and move forward with outdoors, or is the goal also, or maybe more so, to just like, I got to get through a complete season and build?
Obviously the number one goal I feel like would be to get through the season and build and continue what we started this year to do, and that's to make it through all the races and stuff like that, and to gain the experience and to build. It's huge when you have years that you don't get injured and you can build and all that, stuff. Yeah. You just get so much better doing that. But I have some other goals that want to check off. Outdoors, I don't even have a moto podium. I don't have an overall podium or win. So like, there's some goals that I'm looking forward to, trying to achieve this year, but I don't want to, stray too far away from our main goal. And I feel like if we do that, kind of the same thing that we did in Supercross, it'll lead to good results and good point standings and all that stuff. So that's kind of where our head's at.